Okay, hello YouTube. Welcome to my Snowbound Blood speedrun. Today we are going to speedrun through the entire game except for that one troll in volume 9 I want to see. We are going to start with the prologue. Hold on, I have to turn on my epic speedrunning tricks. Okay, but seriously, so, it's been like, I don't know how fucking long it's been since I last did this. What the fuck do I have in... No, get out of here. Fucking hide from channel, thank you. Fucking scams. It's too late to hide from channel, right? Yeah. But, the last one I did was Volume 5, where I just gave up making thumbnails. Shut up, me. No, stop. I'm trying to pause. Fuck. This was April Fool's 2020. Thank you for your advice, actually. That's nice. You probably will not watch this episode, but thank you. Yeah. It's been quite a while since I've last done this, which is not good. But today I plan to fully catch up. Not in one episode. I'm not going to speedrun this. Please do not take that seriously. But we will continue on to Volume 6. Woo! And now, since I've also caught up on Vast Air for the most part, I'm still 50 pages behind, but I'm just gonna wait until 50 more pages come out to catch up then. But yeah, and now because of that, we actually have characters to look forward to. This guy, and this guy. I guess you too? You were there too, I think? Yeah, I think this guy was in the intermission side 2 thing as well. I'm not sure, it's hard. The spikes look so different, like this fucking person. Their nose, they look like a Disney villain, actually. And I gave them like the worst fucking voice, but I love doing that voice, so I'm looking forward to that. But I guess there's gonna be like one troll I recognize, one troll I don't recognize every volume now. Fucking Barm. Alright. So, volume 6 of Feats. Culinary and... No, fuck. Oh god. Oh no, hold on. I just... freaking spilled the drink I was pouring. Gee. Not much. But, alright. I woke up like an hour ago. It is... that time. Please help. As long as this doesn't take like 3 or 4 hours to do, it'll be fine though, but... Your name is Cecily Iopara, and as of right now, those 2 6-letter words are the only things in your life that feel real. What felt like purpose and drive has given way to caution and suspicion. No longer are these thoughts resigned solely to those you pursue, and instead those you believed you could trust have become shrouded in deceit. What felt like a sliver of progress has brought you back to where you began. A single inky drop in an ocean of obsidian. The hit new Adventure Time episode of Distant Lands. I need to actually watch that soon. Fucking spoiler video popped up in my recommended. And I was like, oh god, oh fuck. Yeah. I avoid spoilers aside from the fact that I should probably shut up. But you have conquered greater depths than this. You've weathered storms more turbulent and faced waves far taller. You're going to grit your teeth and face the unknown head on. And you're going to do it your way. That means getting down and dirty with some deep diving detectiving. You double checked the records around the time of the case and looked into the leads you'd been given. And although it has put you into more danger than once, following the leads of that mysterious voice has given you more direction than corporate resources could provide. 2 more trolls to talk to. 2 more pockets of knowledge to make clear. Hold on. Oh, okay. That's actually something I'd like to know how to do, actually. Uh-oh. So we have this person and this person. Spooky. They both want me dead. I guess I don't know this person, I think. I thought I did, but no. Masked Hermit. Do I dare? I'm interested in this guy, kind of. I don't know what to be looking for. This guy wants to stab us. This guy wants to give us some ancient, long-gone diseases. Well, I mean, I'm already at danger of getting a disease. So what's one more? Oh god, we're back here. This place. Against your better judgment, you're choosing to follow the directives of a voice with no name. Now, 3 days after having experienced this barren boneyard for the first time, you've returned for an appointment. Though you've been interrogated by recordings and fallen instrument cases, had things literally blown up in your face, and almost killed a man over a tip off of this mysterious entity, you find yourself again carrying out his requests. Some might think you foolish, but you know, and perhaps find it painful to admit, that each step has also brought you more information than you'd have gleaned otherwise. Every trail left leaves clues. Every piece you move changes the lay of the board. You are here for the long game, and you're betting that eventually there will be a slip-up. For now, you bid a brief farewell to your bike again parked neatly as far into the boneyard as it could go. Your appointment is with a hermit, but you are quick to make the connections over the last few days. Hermit is one of the dark web aliases you noted down while following Bitcon's tracks. An alias, much like a mask, can obfuscate and hide the truth. Your job has always been to search out obfuscations, though, so you step once more into the graveyard, sliding down some weak soil into the pit below. Your rendezvous is scheduled to occur soon. You make your way to its location, a massive skull of Baragoneth. Yeah. Oh, God. A horned skull like this would have belonged to one of the breeds of skull titans that roam the landscape. You find the skull, and like so much of this barren planet, it is deteriorating, broken, and falling apart. Certainly quite a landmark. You take a moment to scan the area. The chaotic mess of bones strewn about the field make the place rife with hiding spots. Some parasites, freshly hatched, skitter past in the distance. Being back here again fills you with a sense of circularity, if one can be so geometrically inclined. There's a feeling of chasing your tail in this case, and you're not particularly pleased about it. Twice now you come to this very area, and you honestly feel that it's 2 times too many. An unbonded Lucis skitters through one eye hole and out the other. You hear the soft grit of a shoe against the dirt and whirl around. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I wonder if I can even manage a voice, or is he gonna be like not talking? I mean, that's possible. Like Karako, yeah, Karako friends him, and I guess technically Hive Swap Act 2, which isn't out yet, but by the time this uploads, it will be out. They didn't really talk, and yet they had a full fucking route thing. That could be a scenario that happens. Okay, I guess they did honk, which admittedly can do more than just not talking, but I'm just kind of speculating when I really don't need to. A figure approaches, shadowed by the darkness. It's hard to make them out in the moonlight, and your hand jumps to the hilt of your blade, gripping it carefully. Uh-oh, music. What is this music? Credits. Oh, hey, Tumblr. Twitter. You're here. I will give Kate one thing. They're a good writer for the most part. Their Risker route was honestly pretty fucking good until the very end. They are good writing. Fuck. They just kind of let their own bias get ahead of them. Why am oh yeah, the music. The execute. Oh no! Trying to find the fucking. So his name is Cody, I guess? I don't know. The figure approaches, hunching their body down, and you can finally see them clearly. You're pretty sure this is who you're after. Alright, let's see if I can pull off the voice I had in mind. There's no need for that now, is there? We have an appointment, Regulator. You decide to deny that de-escalation and keep your hand on your sword. The light glow from the mask you wear seems to stare through you, and you can't see much of anything beneath. Like an alias, a mask can hide many things. Now, why would a Chief Regulator have a face-to-face appointment with me? Or perhaps face the mask is more appropriate, lol. Oh god, fucking lol. I think you'll find that's unimportant. I'm here at least. Goodness, so defensive. I guess it can't be helped dealing with someone like you. Someone like you? You can't help but feel like you're being oddly sized up yourself. There's no obvious signs of a weapon being concealed under that triangular cloak, but the absence of visible arms of either sort keeps you tense. I received a tip. I received a tip that you may have relevant information pertaining to my current case. A vital resource has been stolen, and I intend to chase down the culprit. Noxius did brief me, yes. Funny fellow. No wonder you seem so drained of energy. I'm trying. Well, now that's something new. Noxius was another name you came across in your search. Although it's likely that this mysterious entity knows how to cover their tracks, you definitely filed this under X for extremely relevant. But for you to reveal yourself here, on my turf, lol, you must be desperate. Oh my. Oh my. That gets a grit of your teeth. You dislike that there's a seed of truth in it. You wouldn't be here if so many other paths you'd already taken had resolved more favorably. And while you've managed to add several tropes to a strange roster of familiarity, actual advances towards a conclusion to this burglary deal have been few and far between. You crave progress, even if it means stepping foot into treacherous territory. You regret that thought almost immediately as more sounds make themselves heard. So something from the last reading of Last Error is... So, originally I assumed fucking Cecilia was going to end up dying at the end of this, but it kind of seems like she's more just missing. Like, everyone thinks she's still alive. Just no one knows where she is. So... that's an interesting thing to take note of. This is nice music, I think. It's clear where they're coming from. A small group, similar to those trolls you faced 3 days prior, are shuffling at a pace only they can find quick. Your hand is about to tug Prosperina from your hip and show them a thing or two, but before you can, you notice motion from the hunched individual. In one shift of motion, Hermit pulls a spherical vial of something from his cloak, flinging it to the oncoming crowd. It explodes on contact with a rough ground, knocking about half of the surprisingly large group back, with enough force to cause head trauma if your recent experience is anything to go by. That's not even the real kicker. The liquid inside seems to be partially corrosive. It's clear that the skin of some of the creatures has begun to burn away. Wow, that's fucking dark! A few more approach, and you take the chance to repay the motion. Get down! You swing widely as the masked individual bobs down, cleanly decapitating the head off of one of the approaching hordes. Pivoting around his now even more hunched body, you follow it up with a well-placed kick. Although you don't necessarily gut the creatures like a certain doctor, they are sent back, crashing into the side of the skull. Hermit dusts himself off, extending back to half-hunched height. Fancy footwork there. I must admit, you have some truly potent breeze yourself. Oh, that old thing? That's nothing. You couldn't even handle my strongest potions, regulator. A few parasites exit the head now with no body of his own. Hermit squishes one with his boot before sighing. You see him wipe his feet on the dirt, scratching off the sticky raisin. The sticky raisin. It was left out in the sun too long. Withdrawing your cleaning cloth of your own, you begin to take care of your sword. The brown blood comes off easily enough. Another link in a cyclic chain. It takes you back to the case you finished before this one. Such closure was tantalizing and feels so out of reach at the moment. A stomp of feet breaks you out of your introspection. As much as I enjoy messing with the corpses, out here isn't the best place to chat. Why don't we go to the bunker, have a nice cold OG, and wait for this all to blow over? Oh no. You seem to be motioning you around the side of a skeleton. With your blade now out, you feel adequately equipped to deal with any sort of double crossing, and cautiously follow the masked man towards a large bone of these skeletal remains. With a quick shove, it becomes clear that it was covering a trapdoor hastily assembled in the ground. I hope you'll protect this secret from me. It's in your nature, no? After you, regulator. The phrasing strikes you as odd. Usually, you're the type to search out and expose things which are hidden. Those of ill repute rarely air their dirty deeds in public. I can't make any promises. You give the surrounds one last look and send Hermit a judging glare before stepping down. Uh-oh. Beneath the raised trapdoor is a descending staircase, the bottom of which you can't see. Yet another point of familiarity. Not too long ago, a different sketchy man of the Shadow Realm led you down a staircase awfully similar to this one. It was Bitcon, wasn't it? That fucking... Yes. In fact, if you didn't know better, you would say it looks positively identical. You hear the rumble behind you of the trapdoor being shut, and you can only assume there's some complicated mechanism set up to reset the bone from this side. The thought doesn't dwell for long in your mind. With the outside moonlight covered, the glow from the bottom of the stairs makes itself known. Soon, you reach it, exiting into a rather jam-packed basement. Oh, he fucking lives here. Makes sense.
Ah, bunker, sweet bunker. Well, since you're here, no sense keeping up appearances.
You're surprised he's dropping his guard so quickly. Time to see who this hermit really is. He removes his mask. You have no idea who this is. It should really be surprising. His fucking face! This world is partially full of so many trolls, and you've only had the fortune of coming across those in corporate. Those who would draw corporate's ire, and a few others with which you become otherwise entangled. And while you may be meeting more and more of them by the day, it certainly doesn't mean you've yet exhausted this planet's declining population. As you begin to return your blade to your hilt, Hermit reaches for another orange vial from what you can only hope is an organized collection of elixirs. He takes a swig of it before holding it towards you.
Care for some?
You politely decline. It's taxing to try and not to... You politely decline. It's taxing to try and not to let the repulsion settling inside your stomach pour into your face like the acid you sincerely hope is not in that vial. He shrugs and downs the rest of the bottle himself before pocketing the empty bottle underneath his cloak.
More for me then.
The monotone way... Oh.
More for me then.
Okay, I think my first attempt was better. Oh, who's that? I didn't notice these actually. Who are these people? What? The one in this one looks kind of pretty, but like, who the fuck are them at all? Oh fuck! You had children? Oh no! Is that what's happening? Is there like someone of... Do you like have a fucking partner or something? What? What's this? One of those is a horror movie and one of those is like a fucking Care Bears movie or something. I'm just judging from the colors. I can't fucking read those. Probably nothing even to read. I don't know, is there anything hidden underneath the text box? A plant. That plant is easily the final villain. The monotone way he laughs and to shudder down your spine. It would probably be best to get on with things.
If you don't mind, Hermit, I'd appreciate some answers. Of course, ask away.
Uh-oh. Didn't want to be safe about this. I legitimately didn't notice the bandaged arms until now. So, elixirs.
I'm noting a theme here. Lots of potions, vials, and liquids of all assortments.
Clearly, the room seems full of them and not much else. There are many different colors on display here, and you're hoping this isn't a repeat of a certain navy-blooded scientist's laboratory.
I am a seller of all manner of chemical concoctions. Acids, potions, curatives, poisons. You need it, I can make it. And I assume most people on the dark web search you out for this reason. It's a living, yes.
Dare I ask how you have come to be in possession of so many different creations?
They are all failures.
And people buy failures?
Failure is a relative term. I'm sure you failed quite a bit yourself. Each one of these chemical creations is a result of carefully followed steps, and either they result in what I'm trying to make, or they don't. If they don't, I find out what they do, and then I sell them.
Judging by the volume of vials, Hermit has seen a lot of failures. You feel a strange sense of camaraderie, though. This whole case so far has seen you mostly at dead ends, and though some of the leads you've taken haven't led to immediate success, each one brought new information and understanding. You feel you understand what he's saying. What is that doll? Can I ask about that doll? Can I ask about your child? What are you doing? So then, what are you after? Oh wow, oh god. The hair. The fucking floofy hair, I love that.
Now that is truly the question. It is elusive, and only talks of in hushed whispers between those mad enough to pursue it. The water of life, aqua vitae.
Yeah, his children probably died and he's trying to fucking resurrect them or something. Calling it now. Might be wrong, but calling it it's not someone who you would it's not what you would call common knowledge, but someone of your profession comes across enough laboratory settings and strange individuals to have at least heard the term once or twice. Most dismiss this practice is seen as bordering on fanciful fancy, but oh fuck. After what you've come to know from this investigation, and the way something like the lifeblood of the vivifier could fit into those practices, Hermit instantly rises a few notches on the skepticism meter. In your more recent memory lingers the pursuit of a devoted man who is desperately searching for a cure through careful experimentation, the shared hope of redeeming this fractured world. In contrast, the haphazard and often self-destructive nature of those who pursue aqua vitae seems impossible to contain. What you have heard about the water of life is more misguided optimism. The liquid is said to wash rivers clean, to bring those who are suffering back to reality once more. The thought of someone willingly interacting with water at all almost has made you revisiting an earlier meal. Almost. You're a professional after all. What the fuck happened with water? Oh, I see. It's like all fucked or something, isn't it? Nevertheless, the parallels to this missing filter are too large to ignore. One could naturally assume it would be a vital component of such a creation. Someone searching for such an elixir would need some seriously powerful items, I assume, like a stolen filter of import.
Lol, I know all about your missing goods regulator. But rest assured I have no connection to the theft. If I had, do you think I would be here in front of you? Ha 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 ha!
That's true enough, you surmise. If you had an elixir of life-giving blood fall into your lap, you'd hardly be meeting with strangers either. Much less so if it were as relevant to your work as it is to his. You quickly scan the room of bottled potions, looking for anything else to ask about. Your eye is drawn to a particularly dark mix towards the back of the room. It seems invisibly churned within its glassy confines. You find yourself strangely mesmerized. Its motion similar to those conical candles that were all the rage some 2 weeks back. Of course. What the fuck are those?
That darker vial in the back. What type of brew is that one?
No, absolutely not.
How about a curative? I have some nice salves you might enjoy.
It seems that you won't be getting much more out of him about that particular liquid. Best to move on then. You've no interest in receiving second aid, or any other ordinals for that matter. Is it that one? Probably not. Could be, but It seemed like gardening on some level. There's a lot of plants around. Or maybe that's just to kind of give him more personal connection to the outside world, I suppose. Since he's like underground. I don't know. The bandaged arms. I only briefly glimpsed at them while you were in motion, but your arms seem rather worse for wear. Would you mind if I take a closer look?
Cecily, are you asking me to retrieve arms from Jess?
Fuck you. Genuinely, fuck you. Genuinely. Why? Why would you do this? Yes, I'm asking you to retrieve your arms from your chest. He starts to wiggle his arms out from under the cloak, clearly taking his time to tease you with it. First he reveals his hands, followed by the rest of the arms. He let out a scoff about halfway through the forearms extents. And all the while, Hermit's face is placid with the most shit-eating grin imaginable. You think he could give some of the Repetons chuckle bunkers a run for their money. I like him. I like this guy. If I knew how much I would like him, I'd probably save him for last. Cause like the rest of the stuff, I'm probably gonna save the trolls I know for last. Oh god.
Well, here they are.
The bandages run much further up his arms than you initially thought. They might even run beneath his undershirt. It's hard to tell.
That's certainly some first aid. Do those bandages go all the way? It's best this way. It hides the pain.
As much as you'd like to push further on that point, something else grabs your attention. There's a feeling in the back of your mind, almost like a headache spreading across your mind. You place a hand to your head for a moment, groaning in pain. It almost feels like something is trying to pull at your thoughts, tugging them a certain way. This doesn't feel right, you need to focus. You remember back to Mashiri and her meditative session. There is a moment of emptiness in your thoughts. The soft tug is gone. Shaking your head, you feel the last cobwebs of confusion brush off your mind. Hermit seems to be staring much more intently than you remember a moment ago.
Oh, I've got nothing to worry about, it seems, except perhaps your next question.
Sure, that sounds alright, you guess. Time for another question then. What should I ask about? I actually want to know about I really want to know about these paintings a lot. We'll probably find out more about him in Vaster or something, but like... Please. The other rooms. Beyond the comfortably large space you're in, it's clear that there are several other connecting rooms branching out from this central hub. You note as much to the self-proclaimed hermit aloud.
I suppose I'm yet to give you a tour. What a terrible host I am.
He gestures to the room to the left of the stairwell entrance. The path towards it seems to be increasingly littered with those potion flasks, plant life, and a number of other curios whose origins you're not entirely sure you can name.
To the left here is the herb room, where I cultivate all manner of greenery that takes my fancy. It's connected to the main lab area too.
Before you can comment on the possible dangers of lab work underground, he's already moving on. With a slight motion of his arms, Hermit next indicates the opposing direction. To my right, my mate Sprint Mary's workshop. Oh, okay. So, like... Who? Seems like that's them from what I can kind of see here. Yeah, it kind of seems like that, but I'm not sure. I don't see this one in that painting, though. Who is this? What? This one is cute, though. I want to know more about this guy's personal life. I want to be a fucking creep. Show me. I'm sorry, another troll works down here? You decide to leave the mate sprite revelation alone for now. That could send your think pan back to Headache City, population U. Why, Cecily, she lives down here, but you're jumping the gun a little if you'll let me continue, lol. You roll your eyes, sighing. It seems he takes that as an invitation to resume. Mary and I have a room at the very back of this complex. Dia's room is to the right, opposite our abolition's facilities. Sometimes others stay. We try to be accommodating. I know it doesn't seem like much, but to us, it's home. Yeah, I really actually like this guy. Certainly an interesting choice of hive. It's well suited, you suppose, at least from what you've gleaned of Hermit thus far. And Dia, another bondmate? No, we look after her. She lost everything. Oh, I'm guessing that's who that is? Who is this, though? What? There's an odd quiet that hangs in the air. For the first time, you can hear the emptiness of the room. The way up. Okay. Well, now I can hear the emptiness of the room. Coco, what the frick are you doing? Freaking dog. I was probably gonna pause halfway before doing the route to get more cherry coke. That is the fucking thing I'm drinking. But I'll probably take extra long to feed the dog. Not that it really matters. For the first time, you can hear the emptiness of the room. The way a plant rustles from an errant breeze swept left leafward from some hard-to-see ventilation. The gap in leaves feels comforting, reassuring. It's clear that he doesn't want to get into it, though he continues to guard his own expressions. You can respect that, even if it's for a man who you're still not sure is friend or foe. Whether they're in tight cahoots with Noxus or not, loss is universal. That's very noble of you. Hermit tilts his head, but says nothing more. Perhaps another question is in order instead. Connects to Noxus. You figure it's about time you got to the crux of things. The only reason you're here is apparently on the request of a mysterious figure, known for unsolicited calls and sometimes having just a bit too much information. But just how Hermit is connected to him and the bigger plot remains an unknown. My biggest unanswered question in all of this is perhaps the most obvious. How do you know Noxus? As I said before, I am a seller of many things to many people. To whom I sell, that is unimportant. As long as they can fund the work I believe needs doing, I will accept their loops. I hope you're aware I could easily bring you in over these admissions alone. Black market dealings, while common, aren't exactly above the board. Above the board here is a turn of phrase referring to the many corporate boards of directors usually in charge of making decisions on these sorts of cases. You doubt they would be forgiving. Oh, of course, regulator. I would love to see you try. I have no intention of letting you separate me and my work. Ha ha ha! He grabs a nearby orange potion and seemingly downs it in a single threatening gulp. But you can't be swayed by such intimidation. Blessé sounds right. Hold on. How do I do that? Ah, there.
Blasé.
Blasé, okay, thank you. I was like, oh god, oh fuck, how do I get that weird accent in the... But you can be swayed by such blasé and intimidation.
Perhaps unfortunately for me, I have little information. Nox is notorious for taking what he needs from you. A pickpocketer in particular, someone in the shadows, trading goods and information, silhouetted, staying low. I traded with him myself, but it's amounted to little more than this conversation with you outside of those deals. Great. This feels like another dead end. Another troll in a string of mutated waterfowl beast chases that's led you no closer to the mysterious puppet master tugging you along. Though it has guided you to some interesting confrontations, an advisor and a collection of youths that you would protect with your life, it has lacked the tasty morsels of progress or insight you were hoping for. Your eyes furrow as you pinch the bridge of your nose. Collapsing into what you are hoping is a chair of some description, you allow yourself a moment to compose your thoughts. Some nearby vials idly clink against each other, and the ringing sound causes you to wince. Bringing Hermit in would certainly give you some closure, but you can't help shaking that he is currently your best link to Noxus himself. And though you hate how it gets to you in the pit of your chest, this man is clearly responsible for the well-being of many people. Some immediate, some through his highly questionable work. For every poison, there is a cure. This man is a pharmacon. He is both the poison and the remedy. Finally, I get to use that fucking word Detective Pony fucking taught me. Thanks, Dirk, you fucking asshole. Oh god. Pharmacon is... Well, I gotta use it. This is basically a fucking Pharmacon right here. You are quite an enigma, Hermit. He gives a showy bow in return, smiling a long grin. I do try my best. Everyone wears masks, Cecily. Even yourself. They are so good at hiding those pesky feelings we don't want others to see. If you'll indulge me, I have a question of my own, lol. Should we bring back those we have lost?
That's a heavy question.
All at once, you can feel your own mask slip for just the briefest of seconds. The slightest widening of your eyes, letting loose 10 sweeps worth of remorse in a single, controlled motion. Can he tell? It's hard to say. Right now, his mask holds up better than yours. Through the time you spent examining and scrutinizing Oculus' work, you never once considered the immediate applications, the possible ramifications, the potential it could bring. And here, Hermit himself is toiling away in parallel on a concoction he believes could do the very same. You could be with her again, couldn't you? Tap. Tap.
Fuck no.
Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. You started to tap at your palms again. What would you say if you could see that glowing face again if you had the choice? Would you bring her back? The part of you that aches over her threatens to make the decision for you. There's a lot of good people could do with that blood. There's a lot of bad as well. Like any mixture, it depends on what you add to it. What you feed it. You've seen for yourself those husks that wander above. I, like many others, want to see this broken world healed. To patch up the scars, the pain, to undo the hurt. It's almost imperceptible, but you catch it. The slight twitch of his cheek, a crack in the disguise. But I am not alone in this ambition, Lola. There are others who seek alternative methods of retribution. One of them chooses to face these forces head-on and enact his own brand of justice. I don't think he cares much for my destructive tendencies, but, well, few can handle my concoctions. There's a name for him on the Shadow Web. Ashbringer. For someone quite so adept with that mechanical arm of his, he's no closer to stopping the scourge than I. Maybe you should pay him a visit. You have a pretty good idea of who he's referencing. There's a hint of threat in that last line, and your mind instantly considers this an admission from Hermit that Noxus may have plans for the so-called Ashbringer. I appreciate the heads up, and I'm sure you'll understand that I intend to keep this place on my radar regardless. Naturally, Cecily, you're welcome to my tame stock whenever you please. I'm sure we can work out a deal. The very thought of being limited to the paltry dregs of his arsenal gets your scoff of disapproval. But surely if I were going into battle, I'd require your strongest potions. You could not handle my strongest potions, Regulator! You almost brush off his accusations as some strange joke, but on second glance, it becomes clear that this anger is real. He allows himself a moment to exhale before loosening his fists. Strength, in the hands of those who believe themselves fit to wield it, can be a curse. It can cause immense pain. I reiterate to you, Regulator, shall we bring back those we have lost? Should we? I too know how it feels, that in some part they are not here, and when we assume responsibility for it, that weighs on you, it weighs on your skin. Sometimes life is simply unfair. The breath you had been holding for the past minute finally escapes your lips. You touch a hand to your arm, tracing skin that is lined with reminders of the way you throw yourself into this profession. The recollection of a blade plunged beside the blood pressure of a bronze-blooded troll and the affirmation you made them take, same as all the others. All you do for her. The mask has finally slipped away. Before you stands someone who has suffered great loss, and in knowing that hardship, he seeks out to rescue others from a similar fate. You have a feeling Dia is in good hands. At times like this, it can seem like the only solace you have is in the most eternal of places. Something I do kind of want to know is, like, if he actually does succeed in his goal to kind of get that water of life, like, what's he going to do next? He's likely going to give up this whole making potion things, right? To, like, selling the mistakes or whatever, right? Because he's going to run out of mistakes. He probably won't need to make any more, right? But, like, what's after that? What would he do if he actually does succeed in that? That's something I want to know. Oh no, it's just curious. When I find myself questioning why I keep going, or in the moments when I dole out retribution, I have a ritual, something I undertake to reaffirm to myself why I do what I do. You raise your hands above your head and begin to recite that well-trodden oath. I, Cecily Iopara, do on this day make a promise. This I pledge to any maker or to the souls who lie beyond, that what we do for them. For those we have lost, we will send them as many as need to avenge them. You let your words settle in the air. That's the second bout of proselyting you've done in as many Weisses. This one, however, feels slightly more honest than the spur of the moment preaching to some children of the corn. I pledge to any maker, Souls who lie beyond, that what we do for them. For those we have lost, we will send them as many as needed to avenge them. This I say, and bind to the All-Mother with my name. Cadley's Rancor. Oh, what a touching sentiment. And I trust that's another secret you keep nice and hidden from me, no? Don't answer that. I already know you will. Well, maybe you don't completely understand him, but Cadley's has at least earned some of your respect. And he hasn't killed you yet, which is something you consider to be a good sign of a person. You give a brief farewell, one short wave to the cypress-blooded troll, and a nod and a smile to the young troll in the hallway, curiously peeking into the cacophony. Aww? Will we get to see them? No! No! I wanted to see them! Climbing back up the stairs, you give a vocal command asking Yves to call up Orca. Oh boy. Ceci! So good to hear from you again, Glisnock. I need Necron's whereabouts. Think you can track him down? Oh boy. Huh, this is a different art style from what I remember. I like it, though. And you can see some of... That was good. That might be one of my favorite routes. Although the Bart route might end up becoming my new favorite because of what I know from the character from from the Vastair. Okay, so about that scientist. Haven't met them yet, but I thought they were like a Snowbound Blood character. I don't see them anywhere. There's no way you're... Yeah, that's about... Yeah. I thought... Well, okay, maybe this person is still them, but... I don't know. I don't see how that'd be possible. Fucking nose. Look at that nose. Well, time to feed the dog and get more fucking cherry coke. Woo. I return for the other half with Rayru Dursel. Rayru, whatever. Okay, anyway, it's weird. It's words. That's all I have with this. Oh. Oh god, oh fuck. Get out of my... Wait, no, wait. Oh, okay, we can look at the title screen later. I was like, oh, hey, look, there's more stuff on the title screen I want to see. But yeah, it's rare for you to feel quite this lost. Not necessarily with physical direction. You can make your way around Stronghold 21 easily enough. But after everything you have now discovered, it's harder to pull yourself through this ordeal. There's an emotional lilt, a feeling of betrayal. But to hell with them. You're tasked with getting results, and that's something you pride yourself on. If not for corporate, then for people like Orica, for Oculus, who are doing what they can to help you and this fractured world. But to get results, you need more than a direction with a street corner. Need more direction than a street corner. Most of your leads so far have followed either corporate directives or chasing up information from other suspects. And while things didn't exactly go as you'd planned with Bitcoin, trying something different at least provided you with something new. Eventually, was it worth it? You leave that up to your mental jury to decide. Nevertheless, you're feeling better about things this time. Expanding the scope of the investigation slightly, you looked into the large-scale events in the Fort Weiss leading up to the filter being stolen. One event jumped out at you. Corporate awards for all nights. In particular, this event was catered by one Rayru Dursel. Radda. That's his name now. I'm just fucking Radda Dursel. Radda. Of course.
In particular, the event was catered for by one radda Dursel. I'm taking this joke to my fucking grave. It is with him that you hope your next break in the case lies. Recall, radda Dursel. So who are you? Known far and wide as the curator of culinary creations, radda Dursel is often credited as a man single-handedly responsible for the revival of the culinary arts. While often employed for upscale events that require a large number of meals, it appears that one of his great passions is in teaching others the craft, I wouldn't mind learning how to fucking cook properly. His influence in the space is all-encompassing, and those who do work in the kitchen swear by radda steel for their knives and blade. From personal accounts of those who have worked under him, although he can be tough and strict, radda inspires those around him to give their all. You're personally aware that radda was in charge of food preparation for the AFA night. There's every chance the perceptive chef may provide a connection for two of you to follow up with. When not cooking during the day, radda is usually at his own personal culinary school, where he teaches trolls simple meals that they can prepare at home. While digging up information, you know that the level of class can range from outdoors hunting expeditions and survival preparations to high-class meals free of meats altogether. Huh. Okay, wow. It's here you've come to today in the hopes of catching him at the end of his lesson. Enter classroom. Okay. Holy fuck. Honey spice cake, okay. Yep. There's little ingredients back there. Cool. Yeah, everything you need. You try to subtly open the door, but the bell tolls for thee. A small ringing chime hung above the door marks your entrance and relays your presence to those inside. Thankfully, it seems as though the class is close to finishing, right on schedule, and most of the budding chefs quickly turn back to tidying up their equipment. You watch as the cleaning gel pours viciously out of the taps, before being applied to all manner of knives and ladles, pots and pans, essentially everything in the kitchen sink. How the fuck... Okay, if all the water is, like, polluted, bad, illegal, or whatever, like, how the fuck... How does that work? Like, okay... Here, this was like an example of how things kind of move on. There's gel specifically for cleaning, which makes sense, I suppose. But like, what about hydration? Is there like something else? I don't know. What does water fucking look like? That's probably an Orca's route, wasn't it? I don't know. You settle along the stand on the back, making a motion to press down your coat in a terrifically nonchalant way. You're the picture of precision as always. As you scan the room, it becomes quite clear to you that each sink space is holding two cooking enthusiasts. The scents of delicious creation slightly float towards you. Many spices mix in your mind, but one comes through clear. Honey. You feel your heart grab an extra beat or two. Oh god, oh fuck. She would have loved to do something like this. Who is she? Like, that could be assumed that's freaking her mate spirit, but like, aren't they alive? Oh yeah, I was gonna check the volume menu for that later. People begin to flow at the door behind you, bells chiming each departure. Each pair carries a delicious-looking honey spice cake with them. Does none of them fucked up? I guess that makes sense. Your sweeping scan, cut short by those sweet smells, continues its path along the scene to abruptly stop at a rather familiar pair of budding cooks. Oh no. You really didn't want to talk to this guy again unless absolutely necessary. Except he's already coming your way, and it's clear both he and his cooking partner have spotted you. There's no backing out of this now. Oh! Yes. I actually got practice with these yesterday in reading that stare. Wowee. Yesterday in terms of I actually recorded it yesterday my time, and yesterday as in the one that was uploaded yesterday. Of course, if you're watching this from a playlist, that's not gonna make much sense. Because that would be episode 15, I think? But yeah. So, we meet again! How lovely it is to see you, Cecily! You don't feel you share the same enthusiasm, but you suppose when a move is made, one must respond in turn. I must say, this is quite a surprise. I didn't think you ever left that dome.
Cecily, please, I already told you I have a number of non-currency related hobbies.
One of which is making an absolutely delicious wool-beef stew.
You almost take a step backwards as Bitcoin begins to visibly fly. That's cute. You're not usually one to meddle in people's personal affairs, much less this particular troll's. It certainly helps you paint a more complete picture of the pair, much as it confuses you.
Anyway, we must be off, Cecily. Loops don't pop out of trees, you know. Speaking of which, I've been thinking a couple more currencies. What do you think of blade bits? No? How about currency?
I'm sure there'll be great successes as always, my little rat.
You can see Indari playfully nudges Bitcoin at that remark. He waves back at the two to butt. Are they like together? That's kind of a surprise. It's supposed to make sense. Maybe? I don't know. You're not exactly sure what you feel at the moment, but thankfully with the place now empty, you don't have to dwell on it for too long. You approach the front of the cooking class and perform the tried and tested throat clear to the chef in charge. Oh no. How? Coco? I guess Coco's eating the food I put down, but she's like moving the bowl. So it sounds like. Anyways, how the fuck do I voice this guy? He's no Chef Ramsay, I'm assuming. But, Fuck. Okay, no. Maybe that was too much. I am so sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. I don't know how to do this. He has a fucking knife. It takes a moment for the chef's hair to deflate and his pupils to return to normal. His hand is clearly tense on the knife so quickly swung your way. If you hadn't taken a short step back, it could have clipped your collar. You give him a chance to catch his breath. Oh, he is yelling all the time. All the time, all the fucking day. Oh boy. How? What?
It's alright. I do apologize, but class is finished for the day.
I'm not here for the class, Mr. Dursel. Cecily Iopara, corporate regulator. I was wondering if you remember anything about the recent awards for all events. Put on by corporate, anything that might have been out of the ordinary. From the records, I'm aware you were catering that night. The chef returns to slowly cleaning his own knife, cloth partially coated in that same gel fluid. You note his averted gaze, keenly focused on the motions up and down the well-maintained blade. It feels familiar, the depth care one shows to one's tools, be they sword or cleaver.
Answering unnecessary questions really doesn't rate high on my list of most enjoyable activities, Regulator Iopara.
This is probably not a very fitting voice, but holy fuck, what is going on with his mouth? Oh no. Okay, maybe it does fit. I don't know.
If that's all you come here for, I really would like to head home. I'd prefer not to keep Loren waiting.
He makes a move forward as if to sidestep you, but you quickly match his steps. You exhale aside, prepared to up the ante, and advance yet another piece forward on the board.
This is no trivial catch-up over boiled monster, Reiru.
Corporate has had a vital relic stolen, and I believe this party was within close enough proximity that might hold some clues to the crime. The burglary, as it were. Radda. Wait, Did I feel like I fucked up and actually said his name. Yeah, I did! Fuck. This is no trivial catch-up over boiled monster radda. I have to make sure I get everything right. Or wrong, I suppose. Radda raises an eyebrow in response to that.
Murder burglary.
I'm trying it out.
Wordology notwithstanding, my point of contention was not aimed at its relevance to you. My confusion is why you would need to ask me about it in the first place. You were there.
Oh, that's right. You were there. Recalled. Cecilia, I thought you didn't forget anything. No. Every sweep to help boost the productivity of corporate. Cestro thinks of an individual award for each member of the company. These are presented at the prestigious Awards for All Gala evening, an event you are unfortunately obliged to attend. Your wall of trophies from various AFA nights is almost filled, and you feel like tonight's award for exceptional regulating in the field of detectiveship will squeeze its capacity to full. You sometimes joke that means you have to retire soon, but really you could just use a different wall. Oh my. Honestly though, that is a really nice idea. They want to make everyone feel like valued and important, so they get awards for every single person. What if they forget? Like, what if they forget a certain person? That probably wouldn't happen, but it's possible. But it's hard for you to keep focus. You stand wedged against the far corner of the room, picking up the odd scrap of conversations in between beats of the hot jazz. You're glad for the moment that the band of this corporate shindig isn't singing. You can't focus when they're singing. I just don't think I just don't think the genre is lucrative enough to make a whole series. So I told him, get this, we don't manufacture enough plastics and 10 sweeps for that to be worth it. And I just worry about the integrity of the route data? How frightfully morose, Ceci. Oh, wait. Oh, them. That's who I was... Are they fucking dead? How did they fucking die? I'm very confused. I'm going to save you. I'm going to go to main menu. Gonna look through here. Yeah, they don't appear here. What happened to them? Why are they dead? Oh god, oh fuck. Download more volumes here. No. Oh, Yeshin's linked up to you. So much for focusing. late as always to this party where she's serving as a +1. A decision you'd regret if not for the cut of the cocktail dress she's wearing. Of course. She throws a hand across your back and leans in, marking a show conspiratorially surveying the attendees of the parties, all dressed to the nines. She scoffs and then whispers in your ear. Oh my god. How voice? Did I give her voice before? She would have the fucking fancy just out there voice, right? But how do I do that? Coco, come here. Fucking dog. Come here, you're right there. Come here. There you go. Good dog. Come here. I will lift you up. Good dog. I have a dog on my lap now. She is good. No, don't. Alright. So, anyways, how do I voice you up? I don't know! I am dying, actually. You think? Up. Okay, fine, Coco, you can go. Sorry. No, come back. Thank you. You get back. Dog is good. Alright. Thinking here. Methinks it's a little too easy to find you at these gatherings, my good bitch. Just looketh in the corners for the silliest one. Fucking LOL? You say that? Why? Her frown is clearly exaggerated. You roll your eyes but follow as she leads you to the dance floor. You try to pick up a few more snippets of that conversation about the route data, but... oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. So that... it was important. The way she walks makes it something upright bass line out of your hearts. Like a savannah beast, loping, prideful, showy. She's all show, this woman, and you've been buying front row tickets like the complete sucker you are for 7 sweeps now. You waltz with her, and the moment's almost beautiful until she opens her godly lipstick mouth to talk. Oh boy.
That's thy problem, girl. Thou art always crashing parties and drug dens, bandit hideouts. You're closer to fun more than anyone else on this blastest planet. And yet thou art never having any of the fun for yourself. You give her a spin and tell her you were having significantly more fun until a troll-op accuses you for a dance.
So paranoid about my dying randomly.
Do try not to embarrass me in front of the co-workers, you say dryly as you continue to step to the beat. Oh, don't pretend you don't like us having a bit of ye old arm candy to show off to the suits. And be anyway, a dance is the least thou owe me for always bailing out when your first choice of date declines. You dip her dramatically. She rather catastrophically misses a thread in it, instead continuing her ill-advised conversational course. Be seen no matter how I act, it doth be less embarrassing than showing up to a gala with your little pill whore. Oop!
The oop is from you dropping her straight from the dip back first onto the dance floor. You chatter around the room. Okay, you fucked up. So what is happening? Is that the yellow one I saved over? What? Fuck, I forgot. Oh, I could have fucking used this to... No, I couldn't. Is that... yeah, Mashiri. Is that who it was? It's just interrogate, and it gets more detailed when you actually do it. Amazing. Alright, let's continue. Whoops. You take long strides off the floor and pass the throng staring at you, all the while Yeshin's cracking up laughing on the ground. You try not to notice that your face burns. You swing open the double doors to the balcony where a couple trolls are smoking in the cold night air. They see how pissed you are and put out their sticks. Charred sugar smell following their quick retreat inside. Ah. Please don't tell me I have hiccups. Okay, phew, I don't. Oh god. You stew for a few minutes, then you hear a sing-songy voice tauntingly behind you.
See? Now you're having fun.
Why'd I think this whole game was... Admittedly, I thought this whole game was, like, boring compared to Vast Air. Like, it was interesting at points, but I just wasn't enjoying it. But, now I am. Like, this volume has been really good with, fucking this person. I really like this person's route, and then this, we're just... There's a lot of mystery here, like, does Yeshin fucking die? Is that what happens? Sounds like it.
I know, so you need a fight.
Like an animal, she pounces on you, hand at your throat, and you kiss greedily in the moon's light. You didn't get any further useful information from that party. What? We all have our vices. Oh god, oh fuck. This investigation keeps bringing up recollections you wish you could forget. Nevertheless, you've been standing here for a good few words and haven't really given Radda an appropriate response. He seemed to have returned to wiping down his knife in the absence of a better option while you delved into your subconsciousness for a moment.
You're right. I mean, I was there, but for a lack of a better word, I was somewhat preoccupied.
You see Radda glance momentarily at the clock on the wall before he lets out an exhausted sigh.
If we keep this quick, I suppose I can help sharpen your memories. I can at least attend to the end of the night tasks if you have another moment like that.
Oh.
Where should we start then?
You're pretty sure that's three easy talking points to cover. The question is, which to indulge first? I'd say the evening schedule is probably the least important thing, but might end up being important. He probably won't know about the kitchen room conversation, but that is worth asking, so I'll say that for a second. Invited guests, though, that might have a lead to it. If something's transpired at this awards night, it potentially places anyone present as a suspect, or they may simply have witnessed other events that neither Radda nor yourself can recall. Any one of them could be a follow-up lead. This event is usually one of the biggest of the sweep. If I recall, there are many prominent members of corporate as well as celebrities and big names too. The guest list I received was initially daunting. Certainly I'm no stranger to upscale dining, but this was a lot of fucking people to feed. Anyone that... Why do I give so many of these characters fucking grating voices? Anyone there could have been privy to secret conversations and dealings. One of the best ways to hide a secret can often be in plain, albeit crowded sights. I know I wasn't entirely present for the later half, but there are some colorful characters that come to mind. Colorful describes Turnin Kaikai. Turnin Kaikai? Oh my god, I know her. Describes Turnin Kaikai to a T. They were definitely invited and exceptionally difficult to cater for. Oh, are we going to see her later? Honestly, that'd be cool. I didn't see anything here, so. But yeah, Turnin was pretty cool. Brendan Fraser was getting an award for his acting too. Yes. Finally sliced ham beef strips, lightly honeyed with a cold red just. I am sorry? His main meal. We internally called it the return of the Oh no. You have to give props to his creativity. You would likely just call it a crunchy mess. Sounds charming, I suppose. I'm getting another vague recollection, if only because I'm sure it was the longest award name of the night.
Todd Howard. No.
Why there's an award for Game of the Sweep that is forced to include this gaudy game title name in it is beyond me. Radda's eyes seem to light up a little, though you have to admit the foremost video game designer at Repeton doesn't usually turn people's heads. He just sort of exists. Appears when you don't call him, frustrates you to no end, and yet you can't help but feel entirely enamored by some of his efforts. Oh, I actually find Skyrim CD for the Intellivision Amico, including the new virtual reality DLC, quite charming. The way they rendered some of those delicious craftable meals really makes me feel like my work is having an impact, you know? They're really up to the 400th installment already? Oh fuck. Feels like just yesterday we're playing Oblivion for the first time, I know. You'll forgive me for not sharing your recollection. I definitely try to make an impression with his main meal. Maybe someday he might include it in one of the games for real. Imagine people all over the world being able to enjoy the true culinary arts to their home! As much as it's nice to get a smile from a slightly agitated chef, you really want to steer this conversation away from video games. You're not about to be sucked back in by guys. Oh man, they are absolutely brutal. Moving on, we should get back to some of the more internal works, maybe those with closer ties to corporate. You're right, my apologies. His face seemed to slowly return to the furrowed brow of someone deep in thought. You recall some of the corporate tropes at your table, but through distant conversations and faces without clear names. Being in the dregs of corporate as long as you have, there's so many people who are familiar in features, but you never really got to know. I do recall a couple of other attendees from their interactions with my staff. B-Rare was particularly specific about his Coco. He had me do a stupid song and dance number before he considered it acceptable for consumption. And I don't mean figuratively. I thought it was literally the whole time. I'm surprised and I was actually right and not me being dumb. What is it, Coco? What? Fucking dog. Barrere Sabine, you believe, one of the junior designers for corporate. Are we gonna see them later? Yeah, Sabine Barrere. We will see them in this volume 6, 7, 8. I don't recall if I know them or not though. It's not the first time you've heard his name, and certainly not the first time you've heard someone complain about his antics. And I believe a Lydian was receiving an award related to engineering or something to that effect. He was there with someone to— oh no, I remember what it was. Sabine's the person without visor who I gave the really fucking weird voice to. But I am really excited to do the voice again, cause fuck you. Oh, my dear friend Sabine, how long has this tragedy befallen you? If anyone gets the reference, I clap and I will probably like your comment in volume 10 or something. Cause, I don't know. I don't fucking know. But yeah. And I believe a Lydian was receiving an award related to engineering or something to that effect. He was there with someone too. They were both exceedingly excited about the broth noodle soup. Great noodle soup. They even asked for the recipe. Radda seems very interested in the blade of his knife, his eyes attempting to bore holes through the steel. It's just ramen. Lydian certainly rings a bell. You can feel the information manifesting in your mind, a series of numbered points begging to be joined to form some semblance of a picture. Maybe a purr-beast? Never mind, that's something you can catch up on later. You feel it would be good to break Radda out of its subconscious spaghetti suffering though. There's at least one attendee I can vouch for regrettably. Yeshin, my Kissmissus. The mind mist that can't be dismissed. Do we know Yeshin actually? Sorry for doing this a lot. I'm a very curious person. No. Fuck. Yeshin sounds... Oh no. You're Yeshin. You're the Kissmissus. My fucking god. That makes so much more fucking sense. So then who's the mate sprint? Careful! Any more sodas and you will be diced up for Slitherby stew! You run a hand through your hair, exhaling perhaps your longest breath yet. Honestly, just throw me in. I meant to be on top of the shit, but every time she all but appears, it's addictive. She's addictive. The chef responds with a solemn nod, and you can see an all too familiar flame in his eyes. When you find that person that gets under your skin like no one else, you so often crave seconds. Just like a slimy, greasy, done in minutes food. Absolutely focus on doing it quick, not right. You quickly respond to get the conversation back on track. Maybe at least one pass in this triad will be resolved without resorting to knife-on-wood violence. I'd rather not let her stake her claim in my mind much further this conversation. She was there. I'm sure I could always just chase up a full guest list if I get stuck. We've yet to talk about your end. Do you feel your team was trustworthy? Radda twitches a finger on the hilt of his knife, and you can almost feel the way his teeth grit. I always handpick my team, Regulator. They were of the best quality. I kept eyes on them throughout most of the night, and can assure you the kitchen was a well-oiled, mechanized unit. Sometimes they pushed my buttons, but I know the truth came out in the meals they crafted. Well, that settles that. You decide not to press that easily startled chef with a large kitchen knife. Lots to follow up on, you think. Lots to think about. You follow up. I said the kitchen room conversation would be second. If there's one thing you know is true of a big event like this, it's the level of conversation on offer. While you manage to catch only snippets of conversations through the headache of auditory overload, there are many guests in attendance and even more ensuring the night ran smoothly, including, of course, Radda. As head chef for the night, I would assume that you would hear many things, both from your staff and around the kitchens, especially when people might not think anyone is listening. Do you recall overhearing anything that might be important to divulge from the night? It seems that the chef is more interested in the gleam of light his knife makes as you twist it in his hands. In terms of my own crew, I try to run a tight ship. No nonsense conversation. We prepare the ingredients, we make the meals, we serve them. And you're right, as head chef, it is my role to oversee everything that occurs around our kitchen space. Both inside and out, I'd assume. You can see him grip the handle a little tighter and he continues to avoid your gaze. Yes, that's correct. This feels like pulling teeth, and you'd rather stay away from Morgs after your experience with Akius. You figure now is the time to bring your boot down. Hard. And if this is the case, Radda, did you or did you not hear something that night? That's quite enough! Oh god, okay. Oh god. Am I going to die? His knife lodges in the board beneath him. The silence that follows could be cut by the very same blade. It hangs in the air like a particularly thick, viscous sauce. His hair seemed to deflate again after a moment, and with a soft tug or two, he removes the knife from its wooden scar. It is possible I overheard a conversation that night. I know I didn't bring it up at the time. I'm not always particularly fond of these sorts of interactions. For the same reason I tend to keep my ears open, I also try to avoid loud yelling figures of authority. You can never know what someone else is thinking, what they say behind closed doors. It's been a while since you were trained for this kind of work. Through your basics, you learn all manner of bloody traits to keep an eye out for. Strong survival abilities, purple-blooded psyops. But the fixations of the verdant caste are much less documented. Green bloods will often focus on an individual personality trait, be it striving for perfection, obsessing with purity, but a materialistic hunger, or perhaps a convergence on one's self-loathing. In this case, it seems you're dealing with a deeply rooted paranoia. You've never been one to care much what others think of you beyond your employers, and even they are now dubiously placed on that list. But one thing you know for certain is that isolating radda now would bring you no closer to finding the truth behind this case. That, at least, keeps you moving in the face of terrible headaches, exploding traps, and far too many offers of tea. I understand that it can be hard to know who to trust. Please forgive my outbursts. I'm sure you can understand the sort of pressure I'm under. There's a saying in my line of work: if you cannot handle the heat, you'll never boil. So here's my whistling kettle tune, regulator. There was a conversation I overheard about route data being sold to someone present at the party. I could only catch the tail end of it, but it seems to refer to a corporate organized transfer operation. One of the brief snippets you can recall from that night tugs at the front of your mind. Someone was discussing the integrity of route data. It's a tentative link, but it doesn't take a gigantic leap to see that this might tie into the knowledge of the tundra traversing truckload of goods, including the filter. Do you recall anything about the people discussing this? Anything at all? Unfortunately, no. As I went to leave with some entry dishes, I looked around, but the crowd was already in full mingle mode, and I was not particularly fond of traversing so many individuals. The corner and I were becoming quite acquainted. Yes, I'll see what I can find out then. You have my thanks. It's not a lot, you suppose, but barring an uninvited guest, you may have a particularly robust suspects list once more. And there's every chance that other members of corporate present could also have heard this discussion. All the more reason to check out some of the people you and Mashiri were discussing. Oh good, for a second I thought, oh god, oh fuck, it's about to end, isn't it? Oh god, I thought it would wait until I got all the choices. Good thing it didn't. The evening schedule. Something that could help your recollection would be the actual rundown of the night's events. You were swept out and away from the festivities for a while. There are parts of the night I can remember, but I'd appreciate a reminder of the full events program A. All things considered, it was a standard 4-course gala event. We provide light refreshments at the start of the evening upon arrival, mostly small bite-sized appetizers. After an introduction from Sestra and Hamithi, we served entire meals, mixed ground plant soup with light grain loaf if I recall. That much is familiar to you. For most of this part of the night, you were at your table, waiting, staring idly at the seat beside you for that loathsome +1 to arrive, shifting your food around and keeping a careful ear open. Most conversations were trivial in nature about current corporate happenings and going-ons. You quickly rifle through those thoughts, but dismiss them as any culpable leads. After entries were the first series of major awards for the night. I was definitely thankful to be in that first award bracket, not least of all for how the rest of the evening transpired. Radda seems to continue along his meal plan, unfazed by your personal musing, glancing away from your face for a moment. He clears his throat, you suppose, as a small token of acknowledgement to your statement. The first segment of awards closed with a live performance by Ramona Raquel and her very big band. Guys, I thought he's dying now. Well, You remember something from a few volumes ago that lodged itself into your subconscious during a tar drink haze. It bubbles to the surface of your mind like the sprinklings of ticket stubs, bringing with it the unfortunate recollection of a certain pitch's text. You mentally pop that particular thought for the moment. Ramona Raquel, if I recall correctly, has also personally lost something in recent vices, a necklace of some description. There's maybe a chance there's a connection there. Radda raises an eyebrow before slowly shaking his head. That case was closed rather quickly, Regulator. One of the band members had forgotten they'd placed it in their case for safekeeping. Wait, what was it? Drat. You feel a pang of disappointment, having been denied a tantalizingly similar side case. On long investigations like these, you can really miss the feeling of closure. There's an itch under your skin to get down to pursuing adversaries. Finding tangible clues that led you from one location to the next, providing evidence to systems of law and order, even the wretch of exclaiming your objections and refutations. You missed it all. Cade's work is important, you know this more than anyone, but these legs were made for regulating. Alright, please though continue. The mains were next, I believe? Oh fuck. That's correct, yes. We always take the most pride in our main courses. I feel that this moment of the culinary proceedings matter more than any other. You get to make a statement at this point of the night, and for me, I believe this statement should be as personal to the guests as possible. A personal cuisine statement? Come to think of it, you do recall looking around and seeing a wide diversity of meals on offer at the table you were seated at for the first half of the evening. We try to accommodate for all of our guests. Corporate were able to survey some extra information for us for that evening, so we could truly take your ideas and help them bloom. Radda seems to have a real sparkle in his eyes. The way his face is illuminating with each sentence's increasing passion really makes it easy to see the dedication he has to his craft. You think back to the warm smells of the evening, the way the food tasted, and even the way it felt to eat. It was clear that everything you supplied to corporate, thorough as you usually are, was brought back to you 12-fold with a culinary creation that felt matched to you on an individual level. If I may be so bold, Radda, that night I experienced a truly remarkable dish. Your care and attention to my personal plate, it did not go unnoticed. That's often a length you don't see many in the food industry striving for. There's always blushing. I like him. There's a moment where you see a tinge of blush mixed in with the very humble pride Radda Durson exudes. He finds himself having to clear his throat for a very different reason this time. Thank you, Regulator. That really does mean a great deal to me. Anyway, the mains were part of a larger intermission. Guests were given an opportunity to mingle. The moment when the tiger pounced. The moment when you two became lost in your own world. After a period of time, Cecil returned to the stage for the second set of awards. We followed with a serving of multi-stage sugar cake, in all the colors of the hemispectrum as the final dessert, paired with a series of warm cocoa-based drinks, of course. Hamifi gave what I was led to believe was a traditionally brief speech, a final performance, and the night was closed. Radda gives a brief sigh, exhausted. You take a moment to try and push away the fog, red and blue from your mind to grasp onto something from the end of that evening, but it seems you can do little to shake it. Thank you for that, Radda. If I may ask a follow-up question then, you detailed a certainly tight schedule and plan. Did anything seem out of place on the night? Anything not run smoothly? Radda seems to think for a moment, a scowl slowly forming on his face. Sometimes there are certain people in the team I pick who think it wise to test my limits. There are always those who think the kitchen is a place of jokes and jinx. He slams his knife down into the cutting board and for the first time you can notice a few additional stab markings in the wood from previous altercations where the wood has clearly been split.
But I will never allow it! Otherwise, things seem to run smoothly. I can't speak for the words themselves, obviously.
That's in quick composure. I think you've gleaned pretty much all you can from this line of interrogation. Do you dare allow yourself a brief moment of positivity? It's early days on these new leads, but they seem to open up a whole tree's worth of branching opportunities, and hopefully, a few of those branches will bear fruit. You have a clear direction and some ideas for who to turn to next. The characters examine the clarification of a conversation that seems almost too good to be true. You extend a hand, thanking radda for clearing some of the pitch-induced fog of the night. He hesitates for a moment before returning the gesture. After you pull your hand back, the culinary creator pauses for a moment, eyes drifting to check the time once more. Regulator, if I may now ask for a moment of your time, please wait here. A bold request, but one you feel polite to accept. After all, it seems only fair. You wave him away, leaving him to his devices. Turning back to face the back wall of the space, you call out Yves with your voice. You begin to make a note of the important facts, details, and new possible suspects. A report still needs to be filled. A record needs to be kept. If not for Hamifi or Sestro anymore, then for the future. For those who need to see it. For those who deserve the truth. One particular file comes into view. Hers. You find yourself pausing, staring at the cover of the file as if it would open itself and force you to peruse its contents. Before you can choose to delve into the details of your pitch effects information, radda returns and sees you in decision. Uh-oh.
Go ahead, I figured you might enjoy it.
He pushes forward a small box, wrapped in an olive fabric sheet. While it's no violin case, you're a little more hesitant than usual to accept foreign strange gifts. Even if the person they're from is a somewhat more credible individual than the mystery voice behind the screen. And this is dinner. I suggest. Keep up that appetite for justice, Regulator Iopara. I think we may all be counting on you for this one. The fabric comes away smoothly at a tug of the small knot made in the corner. The box inside is a surprising teal, and you find a grin spreading across your face, joined by the slight cheerful laugh of a certain culinarian. Placing it down on one of the cooking benches, you examine the box's contents. Each small component of the box is filled with those same portion meals from your main course meal, prepared with the same tender care to your palate as it had been on the awards night. You take a moment to breathe a deep whiff of the delicious spices before reboxing and rewrapping the food container. You didn't have to do this, radda. No, fuck it. You didn't have to do this, Reiru, but thank you. I look forward to enjoying it.
It's my pleasure, really. And please remember, Regulator, a watchbot should stay out of the kitchen. Keep yourself safe out there.
The soft chime of the bell signals your leave from a humble cooking school. Though class may be over, you got a hell of a lot of extracurricular work to catch up on. Time to hit the books. That was freaking nice. Why was I disliking this game? Well, okay, I never really disliked it, but I just wasn't enjoying it. But why? Oh yeah, also a bunch of stuff on the main menu now. Well, okay, is Reiru right there? What about the other person, the spooky person? Oh, there is that it? No, it's a different name, but looks like it. There's a lot of stuff here. Maybe that's it? Akius. And then just her. Cool stuff. And then don't forget us. I suppose I can leave? Like, close it? Oh no, that was fun. Oh, Optimistic Duelist actually wrote Volume 1. Did they do anything else? These are good stuff, though. Oh, James Roach! Oh, fuck. The Wizard of Oz is a Kai, if you think about it. Of course. Should look at your Twitter later, actually. I didn't know James Roach did stuff here. Oh boy, I can tell this is just gonna get more interesting. There are still 3 volumes available, and there's only more to come. Thank you for watching. Woo, I'm tired.